I am currently sitting in my parents' bedroom on the floor on top of a dog bed to film this video. So cheers to that. Alright, so today we are trying some new makeup. I recently did a drugstore try on haul video, so if you want to see a full face of drugstore makeup, that one is live. There were a lot of winner products in that video, but you guys, today we have some winners as well. There's some good stuff in today's video. Grab your coffee, and here we go. If you enjoy this video while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. Everything I talk about in today's video is listed down below in the description box. It's so funny, my parents have like 10 coffee cups, and they're all the same, just Starbucks coffee cup. I'm like, don't you want some variety? Nope, all the same. All right, I must say, Parker's dog bed, pretty cozy. He's living the life over here. He gets to travel around in the RV and have this plush dog bed that is like comfier than some of the beds I've slept on. If my self-tanner looks orange, it's because it is orange. I tried to scrub it all off. I'm testing self-tanners right now, and this one was a big no. You'll see it coming in a vlog. Yes, the hands have been scrubbed to death, and this is the least orange they're getting. Right now what I have on my face is the Eucerin Spf 50, which I'm testing, and then also the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Moisturizer, which is like a very nice gel formula. So far I'm liking. So for a primer, I'm very excited to try this. This is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Face Primer. I know, Skin Shield Blurring Primer. They have a lot of glass skin stuff. We're also gonna be trying this, which like went viral on TikTok, the Glass Skin Veil Mist. This is like very heavy glass packaging, which is nice quality. Like it feels nice on your vanity and stuff, but not super travel friendly for me currently. So might need to empty that out into a little bottle if I do like it. It says there's no silicone in this, creates a bouncy, cushiony radiance, instantly minimizes the appearance of pores. That's what we like to hear. Okay. You know when you start a new product and you're literally doing this for like 5 minutes? Okay, come on. I'm cutting this, but it's actually been about 3 minutes and my finger's getting sore. Is this faulty packaging? Dude, are you kidding? Okay, I don't know if there's a faulty pump or what, but I figured out I can unscrew this, so I'm just gonna get it out this way. I didn't think we were gonna get a morning workout in, but there we go. Consistency feels like a kind of a mix between like a cream and a gel moisturizer, but it feels super moisturizing. I'm curious if this one dries down and kind of that's where the blurring happens, like the Shiseido, because this feels similar to the Shiseido primer that I love, where it feels like super moisturizing when it first goes on, then it dries down and that's when like the blurring happens, and that feels kind of like what's happening with this one. Of course, now it's coming out. Seriously. Well, this primer sinks in. We'll see how it looks. Let's do foundation, but I actually have two different sponges here that I wanted to just show you the difference between the e.l.f. Cookies and Cream and then the Sonia Kashuk that I showed in the Target haul video. So here's the difference. Here's the e.l.f., here's Sonia Kashuk. Sonia Kashuk is much bigger. I'm gonna dampen both of them so we can see. So both of them got much bigger. Now the e.l.f. is like closer in size to the Sonia Kashuk. The thing that I like about the Sonia Kashuk just off the bat is that it has this flat bottom. Squeezing in, the e.l.f. feels like a little bit softer actually than the Sonia Kashuk. This one feels more firm. I'm drawn to the Sonia Kashuk one today. For foundation, I'm gonna use the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation with niacinamide. This is a new release, but I swear back in the day, did they not have this foundation? I don't know if they just like reformulated it, or maybe I'm imagining that. Oh, right now it's on sale on Amazon for $38 instead of $54. So this is pricey. Yes, okay. On their website, it says reformulated, so they did reformulate this. Weightless medium coverage with the natural finish, now with smoothing niacinamide, SPF 40, medium coverage, and it looks like they also came out with about 12 new shades. So this one is a little bit too light for me right now with the tanner-ons. The darkest shade I have is 0.5 Sable. If I want to darken my foundation lately, I've just been using the Patrick Star One Size Concealer in Medium Dark 3. This concealer, by the way, is beautiful as foundation. It's what I wore in Miami, and it held up really well and just looks like skin. I have tried the Ilia Serum Foundation on its own the other day. Off the bat, I liked it. It looked pretty. It definitely looked very glowy, but I also was wearing like glowy stuff underneath. So I'm just mixing some shades on here. So I'm gonna use the bottom of the Sonia Kashuk sponge to start out. It looks like those two are mixing really well. It's looking pretty. By the way, that primer off the bat, I don't feel like it's as blurring as the Shiseido one. If you want a primer that starts out feeling like moisturizing and then does do some blurring, I'll leave the Shiseido one linked down below. It's one of the best primers. I'm liking the sponge. I don't feel like that soaked up a lot of foundation at all. It's definitely more of a, I wouldn't say it's like hard at all, but it is more of a firm sponge. I mixed the shade a tad dark, so we're just gonna lighten that up with concealer. Going in with light one for concealer of the same concealer. This or the Haley's Beauty concealer is what I've been using. Because I want to lighten up my face a little bit, I am going to put this down the center of my face. And I want to give my under eyes a little bit more coverage, so I'm going to wait to blend those out, but I'm going to take the sponge to blend out my face. Taking my concealer brush, I'm going to blend out the under eyes. For brows, I'm going to try the e.l.f. Brow Lift. This is basically like a clear, supposed to be like a, you know, lifting brow gel, kind of like the Anastasia one, except much cheaper. So I'm excited to try this. I have been liking these kind of products. I'm just going to take my spoolie for my brow pencil. Feels a little bit softer than the Anastasia. There are so many brow lifting products out there now. Update. I'm going to update this in the next speed reviews, but the Refi Brow Gel, I don't love. I feel like it is a bit overhyped. It creates like the white stuff in your brows, even if you use a tiny bit. I don't know. I personally feel like there are better ones out there, and especially for the price, like, I don't know, I'm not digging it. Ooh, this one though has no white stuff, and it is drying quickly, and it is holding. I love how this one doesn't have any like flakiness. You can do this before or after the rest of your brow products. I just kind of switch it up. Sometimes I do it after, sometimes I do it before. I'm gonna continue testing this brow pen, the Profusion Good Brow Day. This is like $4 or $5, and so far it's a really good brow pen. I have been liking it, but I like to use it in addition to a pencil. I'm just gonna go with my Joa brow pencil. That's what I use all the time. And if you are going in with stuff after, like you're putting the clear brow product on first, I like to just make sure it's fully dry, or else your other products go on kind of weird because it's going on top of like a wet formula. I've been really liking filling in my brows more lately, like doing them a little bit thicker. I'm gonna go in with the brow pen and just create like a few more strokes to define it. Also in the front, this is where I like to add a little bit more. Okay, one of the products that I am most excited to try, the new Milk Makeup Bionic Bronzer. We have Time Travel and Shapeshift. Shapeshift is a little bit darker. I'm gonna start out with Time Travel. Their Bionic blushes are pretty sheer, so I'm curious if it's gonna be like a similar kind of formula with these. Whoa, it's liquidy out of the tube, so I would say definitely shake it up. Okay, I think that shade is gonna be dark enough, but I wanna see the undertone of Shapeshift since we have it. Here's the two side by side, so definitely a big difference in shade there. I'm gonna go in with the lighter one. They don't dry fast because that was actually very easy to just wipe that off my hand. So I'm gonna put a little bit on my hand and then just go in with my putty primer applicator brush and then build it on my face. Ooh. Oh, that's a pretty shade. Okay, doesn't seem to be picking up the foundation. It's weird, it dries down faster on my face. Like, it does feel like it's not drying too fast where I can't blend it out, but oh, I like that tone a lot. This almost looks like it could be pretty, like if you need to match your face to your body. I bet you putting some of this on your chest or like your collarbones could look pretty. Or even mixing this in, like if you're someone who tans your body but not your face, you could probably mix this in with like your moisturizer, almost in the same way as like the De-Bronzy Drunk Elephant drops, which I love. That's so good for that purpose. Okay, really like that. On my tone right now, it's looking like natural, but still gives a nice like warmth. It doesn't look too orange at all. I would say the finish, like looking at it on my hand, because it's hard to tell when you're putting on top of an already luminous foundation, but it definitely looks like it does have like a luminous finish, not in like a glittery way, but yeah, it does have a luminous finish. Look at that. Another thing I'm really excited for. I'm excited for a lot of stuff in this video, but this is the Pacifica Fluffy Blushy in the shade Bloom. Looks like it's like kind of hard in there, so I'm gonna just go straight in with my brush and kind of swirl it around. Definitely really gotta like work it in there. So I'm just kind of building it up. That seems to be like lifting up underneath and also creating like a distinction with my concealer. It actually looks pretty matte, the finish of that. Don't love this. The formula of it off the bat, not my favorite. Yeah, I do feel like it's like picking stuff up and almost making it look like a little bit patchy. I don't think you need that one. The e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation I've been loving. It looks very matte on my skin, but it creates like a super pretty, like soft. My mom was like, whoa, when I was wearing this the other day on a walk. So I have been loving this like on my actual face, but I'm gonna try this on my under eyes as under eye setting powder, because a lot of the times I like using powder foundations in that way, but we're gonna go with the shade 150C. This might be a little bit dark for my under eyes. Oh, no. Because of how just like softening this is, I think it might work well on the under eyes. Like, look at that. I'm gonna go around my pores too because I love it. Look at that. Okay, I need to zoom in. Look at how freaking softening that looks, like compared to my pores around my nose on this side versus this, it just creates this beautiful finish. I like matte if I use it in certain areas and also if it doesn't emphasize my texture. Just a lot of matte things tend to, but if it's like this where it's a very softening, smoothing kind of matte, it can look so friggin' pretty. Maybe I'll come back and do my forehead, but for now we're gonna leave it at that. Do really wanna try this bronzer. It looks like a really pretty shade, LA Girl Matte Bronzer and Back to the Beach Powder Bronzer. Oh, before I do that, I should have done this before I just did that, but hopefully this lays fine over top. I forgot I wanted to try the Milk Makeup. These are new illuminators, Reality and Virtual. There's Virtual, it looks pretty subtle. This might be a good mixing one actually. Hoping this lays fine over that. You know, have a little bit of powder right here, but it does still feel tacky enough to where I think it'll be okay. Fingers crossed. Ooh. That looks pretty nice. This is reminding me a lot of the AOA Glow Baby Liquid Luminizer, which is literally $1.88 or $1. Yeah, this looks super similar. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this bronzer. This tone looks very pretty. I'm just gonna take my powder brush. Ooh, wow. We have a lot of winners right now. It is more of like a red undertone kind of bronzer, which I really like. To prime my eyes, I'm just gonna use the same concealer today. So for eyeshadow, I think I'm gonna do like a greenish kind of look. I have these two new ColourPop quads. We have Feelin' Coconutty and Star Fruity, the green one. Obviously, I have been in a green mood. The lightest shade in here looks like a satin finish. It looks like it has a little bit of a sheen, but I'm still gonna use that for my crease to start. Oh yeah, that does have a little bit of glitter actually. I really like that e.l.f. brow thing. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze again. I'll let it dry down a bit. I don't like feel it as much at all, actually. I'm not even like noticing it on my brows. Let's take the really pretty like navy army green. This Flower Beauty brush is really nice. I've been using one side for like eye primer work or lid shade, whatever, and then the other side is just like a nice little blending brush. Here's that side, that side. Look at that focus, love Sonia. So I'm gonna go in with the green. Let's put it all over. Can you guys hear my dad talking on the phone right now? This is actually a really pretty, like kind of subtle green. Like I feel like it's a very wearable green shade, but that's making my eyes pop a little. This would be good on the lower lash line, I feel like. I'm loving that e.l.f. powder on the under eyes. It's looking so smooth and around my nose. You could, even if you don't like powder foundation, just try that around your pores or where you want to like blur out your skin, because I'm telling you, very pretty. And it wears like that throughout the day too. Like it wears well, at least on my skin. Maybe I'll just take this green as like a pop on the inner corner. I'm going with this shade. Focusing it on the inner corner and then just like feathering it out. My dad talks so loud on the phone. I can still hear him. He like went downstairs and I still hear him. So hopefully you guys can. He has that voice that like if you're in a restaurant, if I'm in the bathroom, I can literally hear my dad's voice like from his table. And it's not just because I like know his voice. You know how certain people have that like tone of voice that like stand out? That's him. I think I want to take that same army green shade and put it on the lower lash line. I am actually going to bring that shimmery green down on my lower. I'm going with the coconut palette. I'm going to take the lightest white shade just to brighten my inner corner a little bit. Kind of layer that. There we go. I don't think this is new, but I've never tried this. It's the Lancome Idol Liner. All my Holy Grail eyeliners are drugstore or like drugstore price. So for me to recommend and love like a high-end eyeliner, it'd have to be incredible. I like the square packaging on this. Tip is pretty long and it looks like felt tip. I usually do like brush tip. I just find it goes on smoother. Yeah, see, this is what happens a lot with me with felt tip is you're trying to get like a thin line and then it just turns into a very thick line very quickly. I'm gonna do lashes, so I don't think I'm gonna wing it out a whole lot. Okay, I just took like a half-hour break with one eyeliner on while my mom showered in here, so now we are back. Had some toast, ready for some more eyeliner. There's the garage door. Okay, I'm just doing like a baseline because I'm gonna be doing lashes, and then I always put lashes on and then see if I need to like add any anywhere because my eyes always look really different with lashes on. But I do want to try out this new mascara from Milk Makeup. It's their Rise Mascara, Lift, Length, and Volume. Whoa, interesting packaging. Okay, it's like a silicone outside, which I could see this getting really dirty really quickly. This is interesting choice for packaging, but let's see how the mascara is. Here's the wand, so it has like a curved wand. Whoa, this is a really long wand. I feel like my hand is like out to Texas. really weird. Wow, my hand is like way further out than normal. I don't know why they made this so long. Even though I'm doing lashes, I'm just doing a second coat just to see. It's looking nice. It's not like a lot of one thing, you know, like it's not super lengthening or super voluminizing. It's just kind of like overall nice separation, nice volume. Literally was just looking all over for my lash glue and it's sitting right on the table. So I'm gonna go in with the Milani Floral Lashes. I've used these once before and they're very pretty. Here they are. I'll be back. Okay, just put on those lashes. They're drying down, so I haven't gone over it yet with line or anything. Actually, I'm putting this out to do that because I always forget to do that. But I do want to add a little bit of powder to my forehead, I decided, just to mattify it a little bit and also lighten it up right in the center. So taking the same e.l.f. powder and just going right here. This looks so nice. If you have textured skin, I do think this is one of the matte powders that sits really beautifully over top and just like blurs it out a little bit. I want to add a little bit more highlighter, so I'm going to take my velour highlighter in the shade Clumsy. This one does go over powder okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit. This isn't the one I was talking about earlier. This is a different formula, but I love the Sometimes and Clumsy shade. Sometimes is my favorite. It's more of like a champagne. Okay, before I do the last couple things to my eyes, let's do lips. I'm gonna take the e.l.f. Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner in the shade Mauve. Okay, I don't want it quite so mauve. I know the shade is mauve, what was I expecting? But I want to add a little bit of pink. I have Never Grow Up Heartcore Lipstick by Too Faced and then the shade Too Femme. That one looks a little purpley. Let's do this one. These smell like super strong strawberry, like very artificial strawberry smell. That's pretty, but I think it's still a little bit more berry than I want. I'm gonna wipe this off a little bit. Let's do Milani Peony lipstick. The form of these are very nice. Looking a little springier now. So let's finish up the eyes. Let's go over the lash band. I'm so freaking excited to try this. It's the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist. This went viral on TikTok. A lot of people are obsessed with this. It's supposed to give you that just like soft veiled look. I feel like we have a good base to test this right now because I'm like pretty matte in certain areas. So I'm curious if this is gonna add like a major glow or if it's just gonna create that veil. I really like setting sprays that do just create that softness, like the Hourglass Veil or the Collab setting spray I've talked about from Sally Beauty. It's like a dupe for that. Doesn't have a scent, which I like. I definitely have some areas that need to dry down here. The sprayer wasn't super even. Let me get a little more on my forehead. Let's let that dry down. Right now my forehead's definitely looking very glowy. I'm hoping it doesn't stay that glowy. Well, that's drying down. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of mascara for my bottom lashes. See how this does. Oh shit, just got that in my hair. Setting spray added a lot of glow, which sometimes I do want a glowy setting spray for certain things, whether it's using with powders or using with more matte foundations or when I have like too much texture going on, that can really help. But I feel like today it's like a little bit glow overboard now. I'm just looking like a little bit wet. So I'm actually just gonna go back in with that e.l.f. powder and just in the area where I did want it more matte, a little bit more. Ideally, you know, wouldn't use this much powder normally, but I'm just barely touching in here just to mattify the areas that I want matte because I didn't know that setting spray was going to be so glowy. Okay, so this is the final look. I'm going to go through the products, tell you the ones I'm loving so far just off the bat and ones I think you could skip on. By the way, all these I'm going to keep trying and I will update in a speed reviews video or a future video, but the primer I feel like for the price, I'm not like immediately in love. I don't feel like it did any crazy blurring and it is called the blurring primer. I feel like I have primers that are definitely more blurring, but I do like how moisturizing it feels. The consistency is really nice. Loving the Milk Makeup Bionic Bronzer. This was a very pretty tone. I like how it blended out. Same with the LA Girl matte bronzer. Both of these I feel like were winners. The illuminator right now, it's pretty, but I don't feel like it isn't something that I already have in my collection. Like I feel like I have a couple products off the bat that I can think of that are more affordable that do pretty much the same exact thing, but I do want to try mixing this in with products and see how it goes in that way. Same with the bronzer. Loving the e.l.f. powder, but I already knew that. But just FYI, if you try this and you're getting like weird texture with it, it's likely the primer. You have to put this over like a smooth kind of base. The first time I tried this, I put it on top of like a gripping primer and it did not work at all. So make sure you have like a really nice, smooth, prepped kind of base before you go in with this powder. Sonia Kashuk sponge, first of all, how freaking cute, but also I liked this. I liked the way it blended out. I actually liked how big it was. Usually I don't like this big of sponges. Like for reference, here's the Amazon sponge that I usually use. It's quite a bit smaller. So it's pretty large and in charge. Like it's, look at it compared to my face, but I did like this. The fluffy blushy Definitely think you could skip this. Don't love the formula of it. e.l.f. Brow Lift. I'm excited to keep using this because I think it's better than a lot of high-end brow products like this I've tried so far. I love that I can't see literally anything in my brows right now as far as like residue. The Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist, if you get this to try it, just know it's very, very glowy. For me, I do feel like certain products can give that true veiled look where it just looks like you have like a little bit of softening happening. This one I think is more of just like a glowy setting spray. I'm not getting really like the soft veiled look. If anything, I feel like the e.l.f. powder is giving that. So I'm gonna keep trying this. I don't not like it. I like that it's not scented, and I like that it is glowy for certain looks. I've been trying these, so I know I like the formula of this, but if you're looking for just like a comfortable matte finish from a lipstick, they're just really nice. Like the formula, the look that they give on the lips, there's something different about these lipsticks. They almost remind me of the NARS Audacious lipsticks. The liner, it's a felt tip black liner. Like I said, I just have drugstore ones that I prefer, like the tip more, and it's all over my hand. Where'd that just come from? Obviously I can't say how this one wears throughout the day yet. I don't see myself like wanting to reach for this all the time just because of the tip. Random shout out because it is in my bin because I didn't know if I wanted to add like a gloss over top, but this is what I've been using pretty much every day on my lips. It's the rose shade of the AOA Jelly Jam. I'm like halfway out of this thing. I love the shade of this. It gives this like really pretty plump moisturized look. I use it for over lipstick on its own at night. It's just like one of those products I can use in so many different ways, and I love the look that it gives my lips. All right, that is everything. I'm gonna have everything on my face today that I use listed down below in the description box if you want to check anything out, along with the shirt, earrings, nails, rings. Everything is always down below. Not the self tanner, because don't buy this. Don't do what I did. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you, Parker's Dog Bed, for providing the butt comfort throughout this video. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.